Revelations.Unveiled. Detroit. All praises, all praises, all praises to the heavenly, holy, almighty creator of infinity, eternity, the universe, the stars, the earth, the mountains, the oceans, the valleys, the seas, the clouds, all creeping things, humanity, and all there is. This is Revelations.Unveiled. Detroit. Hello, family. We are here again today on this holy Sabbath, sundown, and we are celebrating the week of Passover, our first holy day of the nation of the new year. All praises. And so I am glad we are back in our warm, wonderful zone of safety, love, harmony, warmth, and our lovely convocation with this beautiful congregation so that we can once again be together as we disseminate the holy word, absorb, exponentiate, if that's a word, expand, elaborate, and deliberate in the holy word. So we are back here today on this wonderful holy Sabbath Eve. And at our last presentation, or the last time we sat together, we were reviewing some material from Brother Sarnetta and his wonderful platform, as well as the brothers of SICARII, the Hebrew camp. And so it was a reaction video to Sarnetta in terms of his reaction to content exposed in regards to questionable activity, we shall say, at a post Passover celebration by SICARII. And so there was a lot of rancor and activity in the world of Israel, a lot of condemnation, finger pointing, gossiping, defensive conversations, confrontations, all the like, and etc. And there was a cloud cast over Israel, if to say. However, the brothers of SICARII, in their wisdom, in their judgment, they came back to address the nation. And so we were going to sit this evening as a family, as a collective, and hear some of the things that the brothers have to say. So first and foremost, when I saw the content, which we will review again so that we will be refreshed and have an understanding, I had my thoughts. So, of course, us being of the holy nation, gifted with new spiritual eyes and ears for the understanding of the word and bringing us to the basics of humility. And then we are rebuilding ourselves within the spirit of Christ, who walked in the perfection of the law, statutes, and commandments. So the word judgment, casting judgment, undefined judgment, unquestioned judgment, righteous judgment, investigations, getting to the bottom of the matter, cordial conversations. So all of these tenets are in play as we rebuild ourselves and we kill off that old man as we aspire for our soul salvation, as we seek our true power in our power, which is Yahweh, as stated, I am, and his son, his word that walked amongst us in the flesh, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus. And throughout the spectrum, the brothers Yahweh Shai, Yahuwah, Joshua, etc. But we're talking about the holy power and his word represented in the flesh on earth. So as we build as a community, as we understand amongst the diaspora that we are the scattered 12 tribes of the house of Jacob, under the guise of many names and bywords, some of which I should be showing y'all on my banner. So we're going to get it together this evening, family. I love y'all. All praises to the heavenly, holy, almighty creator. And so we are the house of Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel, scattered abroad and coming back to the remembrance, the global history that has sat upon us to our detriment and made us proverbs and bywords and the derogatory so-called dangerous animals scattered and dispersed all over the world amongst the heathen. And so, family, we are going to see, as an example of an established and growing camp, SICARII, and being confronted with the judgment or so-called condemnation of the nation. We will review their reaction because these brothers have taught me or I have studied or been provoked to study based on their presentations and their work on the street. So those brothers get a high regard of respect from Revelations.Unveiled Detroit here. And I also, as indicated before, had the pleasure of meeting Guerrilla Hebrew Chief Priest Alazar 2018 at the Hebrew Summit here in Detroit. So I am participating wholly and humbly as all the Hebrew family is this evening. So we will be getting a reaction from the Brotherhood. We'll try to keep it short so that we won't extend our attention spans too much, and then we can resume the pleasures and enjoyments of the Holy Sabbath and the Passover and Feast of Unleavened Bread. So family, let us begin by getting a recap of what precipitated all this activity in the nation. So we're going to go ahead and get a full screen view for you. Let's see. Over here. And family, please review the banners and the content. I'm glad to have you here. Please send in chats, commentary. We have support links for channel expansion, growth, your kind charity, and any other wonderful gifts you may extend to Revelations.Unveiled Detroit. Also, we will be having the email address for any content or comment submissions, etc. Thank you. So we will get started here. And here is the so-called strippers at a SICARII Passover event. So here we go, family. We will review this content, and then we're going to go over and see what the brothers had to say in regards. All praises. And we begin.
Out here with my brother. You see it. Super fly. Hey man, your boy went and did it to him, bro. Y'all see it? Yeah, y'all see it, right? Y'all see it? Let's get it. Let's go.
All right, family. So that was a quick review of the activities that precipitated all of the so-called activity in Israel. So a lot of things were said and a lot of opinions were expressed. So I was looking forward to seeing myself personally if the brothers from SICARII would make an address to the nation in regards to said activity. Is there an explanation? Is there a reason? What caused the filming to become public? All sorts of inquiries that poured in within this week. So I was glad to see that the brothers had posted a response, which was entitled SICARII, Letter to the Nation, Addressing Passover Plus More. So we're going to take a little bit of a review of some of the comments the brothers have made. Also, the link for both the video we saw prior as well as the address to the nation will be included on the channel. Also, let's see, make sure that we are prepped here. And as we go into the address of the nation, just want to make sure we get up these necessary commercials here. So I want to make sure we're not infringing upon any guidelines, sharing any of the videos. We don't want to offend any parties. And also want to make sure that everyone is prepared. We may hear some expanded language, colorful, whatnot, but the brothers will be speaking as the brothers, and I'm quite sure we will get a clear understanding. So just to make sure everything is all good, we'll get ourselves together once again. So here we go, family, with the SICARII address to the nation. And here we go.
All right, first and foremost, we give all praises, all honor, and all glory to the Most High God, Yahweh. We do so in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world calls Christ, Yahweh Shai. Your brother, Chief Priest, Alazar, my lawyer, I got Deacon Akai with me, Sergeant Shamar Yashar. I mean, not Sergeant Shamar Yashar, Sergeant Abdurraj, rather. Assad is here to my right. Captain Tazama Ahmad should be joining us momentarily, as well as Sergeant Bazar Barrier. There you go. There goes Captain. There goes Captain. All praises, all praises. So, the original schedule, just so I can give y'all some background. You know, initially Friday, somebody had hit me up, which was the day after we observed Passat, the Passover, and that was the first I heard that somebody had some objectionable things to say about our post, not our Passover, but the post Passover celebration, for the record. And then I heard about a couple other things from a couple other people, but not major. So we addressed it briefly on our Friday Flux class that we do every Friday through the Spirit and Power of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Right? That was the video that I isolated and aired last night. So that video that y'all see last night is from Friday. Just so everybody's aware, the narrative about what was wrong with or what people were taking issue to in the videos has changed from now to then. So that's why it doesn't necessarily address the more recent narrative, so to speak, right? I just put that out to hold y'all over until today. Yesterday I spoke with Priest Danyala. You know, Priest Danyala just advised me, like, look, you know, just get on this ASAP, right? You know, address this ASAP. And I thought that was sound advice from the elder. Spirit had hit me a few minutes after he reached out to say, you know what, let me come on your show and let's do it on your show. Then later on I did my live and I said, well, I think the idea may be good to even let people come and ask us questions in regards to this. Later on that day, I received word from the elders of Masharah Yasharala, who, you know, we have submitted ourselves to, advising me not to go on Priest Danyala's show and not to do that tomorrow, right? Hold on. So yeah, so they advised me not to go on Priest Danyala's show. So so they advised me not to do it. So, you know, that was last night. This morning I spoke with you know, Elder Priest Kahan of the, you know, really, you know, directly over me in the Masharah Yasharala council. And just a very dear brother and counselor and elder of mine. You know, we spoke about some things. I also spoke again to Priest Danyala. And, you know, we just been weighing the situation because, of course, initially, y'all got to understand that, you know, we truthfully, as a body, as a SICARII, really had the time of our lives last week. A beautiful time and beautiful fellowship, and we just didn't, you know, we just didn't see the problem. Retrospectively, looking back, and with the vehemency that the nation is speaking out about this, you know, we kind of have to analyze further and deeper, and we realize that we have offended the nation. And you know, understanding that we've offended the nation is something that we never, ever would want to do, as we, you know, strive to be the greatest servants of this nation that we can be. And if we do something that's not serving to this nation, but the opposite of such, and harmful to this nation, you know, that's something we never want to do. So we want to, number one, express our deepest apologies and say salakia to the nation for what happened, because that was never our intentions. You know, so that's the first thing we want to do. We don't want to set a stumbling blocks. We don't want to bring a bad name to or make the nation look bad. That's never our intention. So if that's what's happened, we apologize for that. You see what I'm saying? We never ever intended to do that. You know, that would be crazy to do. So again, Salakia, I understand retrospectively, looking at the situation, that it certainly can be interpreted and can appear not good at all, and bad, very bad and very negative. I also apologize because, you know, though, yes, and we'll explain the situation more. We'll explain the situation more, but, you know, we could have been more assertive on the outfits that the girls had on. Again, we rented a venue, and that venue provided outfits for their employees that we had no control over. We were apologized to by management of the venue for the fact that the girls were dressed that way. We were so caught up in fellowship that we didn't really think much of it. And that partially could be due to us being desensitized to that type of attire in the world that we live in today, etc. But yet and still, we could have been more adamant. There are several alternatives that we could have done, i.e., demanded that they put their clothes on, refused the service, you know, made a big deal about it, told them, listen, we don't even need them to bring our stuff out. We'll just go get our stuff and we can do it. You know, there's a lot of things we could have done differently, right? Looking back, we understand that now, and we understand the negativity that was associated with that. So we again extend our deepest apologies and want to say Salakia to the nation for that. Right? Now I want to address the situation fully though. Right? Because my thing is, if y'all are going to condemn us or judge us on what we did. Do not judge us on anything that we didn't do. We're going to some scriptures in a second in regards to this. But number one, we were not in or at a strip club. And those girls are not strippers. All right? We were neither of those things. It was a lounge or a nightclub. It's called Cosmopolitan Premier Lounge. It's on Glenwood Road in Decatur, Georgia. Anybody can look that up. That's not a strip club. It is a nightclub. And people could say, well, a nightclub is almost as bad or just as bad. Okay. But it's not a strip club. So when you render your judgment or condemnation on us, please judge us for what we did. We were not at a strip club. Those girls were not strippers. They were bottle girls or waitresses. And girls walk around Atlanta dressed like that in Walmart, the street, the bus stop, the mall, everywhere. Again, that does not justify or excuse. I'm just contextualizing and letting you know the truth of what occurred so you can judge righteously and not judge according to perception, opinion, feeling, or appearance, right? We run it out of a club, and here's the thing, just so everybody understands. I reached out to multiple venues months in advance outside of this club, standard venues, recreation centers, halls that would be able to adequately house the amount of people. We easily had 200 to 300 people at our Passover, right? Venues of that size were hard to come by.
It's like, if I mean, we actually went to a multiplicity of other venues in an attempt to try to find some other place.
Yeah, we did multiple things, you know, but a lot of places were telling me, listen, the county is getting ready to shut a lot of these venues down. We don't know what it's going to be because, again, we have to book things in advance so we know and people can plan to come where they need to come, right? I'm calling you in January and they're saying, well, listen, we're shutting down at the end of the month and we don't know when we're going to open back up. And we have COVID-19 restrictions and we have you have to use our caterers and, you know, all these contingencies. So I was getting difficulties here. Again, they're telling me that they have a 50% capacity if they did potentially rent us out the venue, meaning I have to get a 600-person venue, but then they don't have one available. So these are the loops I'm jumping through, right? Well, I had met the manager of this club. We knew about it. It's a very large club. It's actually 3 clubs in one. 2 lounges and like a concert thing. So we knew this dude. We hit him up. He said, okay, I'm going to give it to y'all, right? So initially, we book it, you know, give him the deposit, X, Y, Z. But he doesn't necessarily understand exactly what we're trying to do. So as we begin to have concerns, we start working out the negotiation of how this is going to work, right? So we had to literally not only pay to have the venue, we had to pay to shut the kitchen down, right? We had to pay him to let us bring our own wine in, right? And of course, we had to pay staff from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. because that's how far we rented it out. The standard rent out procedures are 10 to 2, but we needed it from 5 because, of course, we're not having no late night Passover, right? So the concern that the venue had with us was, well, you know, even though y'all are giving us this money for this, how we make our money on a nightly basis in this club, and we're shutting this club down for you guys, how we make our nightly money in this club is out of the bar. Brothers drink, I don't drink, but brothers drink. There's nothing wrong with drinking. The scripture said there's no few things better in life, right? Roughly paraphrasing. Be married, to eat, drink, and be merry, right? So brothers drink. And after our solemn assembly, brothers plan to celebrate. So I said, listen, 10 o'clock, the solemn assembly will be over. Y'all can open your bar up, and then, you know, brothers will drink out of y'all bar so y'all can make y'all money for the night. Pay your staff, which you're telling me has to be there, etc. Security, the waitresses, etc. Cool, right? That was the negotiation. So because that was the negotiation, that was what our understanding was. So, you know, we opened the doors at 6. We started class at 7. We started our ceremony around 8. We were done by around 10. All the minors were to leave the building, the children, and then they would open the bar so people can, they could get their money, and we can go from the solemn assembly aspect to the celebratory and festive aspect, which are all there in the scriptures. I want to make sure that's clear. Yes, you're supposed to keep a solemn assembly, but also it's called, the Bible calls that a festival. So it's still a time to get festive. Okay, I want to make sure that's clear, right? And in the festivities, now mind y'all, I want to make this also clear. I left the building. I got 2 wives, right? I had to get both of them respectively to where they needed to be and get them situated. So I was gone until probably after 1 o'clock. All right. So the waitresses initially coming out, I wasn't even aware of. Not that I'm condemning anybody who was there, right? And trying to place the blame to them, but I wasn't even there for that. By the time I walked back in, I got such a warm welcome for all the brothers. I did see the girls come and bring a couple more bottles out and go back. I didn't say anything. Why? Because honestly, I was so caught up in the fellowship. Again, retrospectively, I could have been like, man, listen, y'all, we could have stopped the music, grabbed the mic. Hey, y'all sisters are the daughters of Zion. Y'all shouldn't be doing. I could have went into full camp mode, right? And I retrospectively probably should have. So again, we're sorry for that, but I'm just giving y'all the rundown of what happened so you can understand it fully and perfectly. So when y'all do judge and y'all do condemn, you can do it according to what we did.
Con, real quick, I don't know if you're gonna talk about this. People were acting like, so it went from the Passover class to the solemn assembly where it was all Israelites. Then it turned into like a sort of nightclub type of feel, but it was rented out for us. It wasn't a nightclub where the Israelites were there, and other people was there. The whole venue was for the Israelites. So when everything did clear out and shut down, the DJ came. It was kind of like a club type vibe for us only. I want that to be clear. It wasn't the public and Israelites. It was just for us.
It was just us outside of the staff. The staff were the only people in the building that is not in the truth. Right? That was not in the truth. I got this. I gotta get this truth was fullness of the story. Now, again, we were apologized to about the girls' uniforms. Some of the girls elected to go put their clothes on, right? And some of the girls were very impressed at the modesty and the presentation of the sisters that were present at the Passover, and they expressed this to them. All right, I want to make sure that that's clear. I'm gonna actually, you know what?
And if I could say this too,
Go
because
ahead, King.
I came in a little bit after Chief as well. I had to take my wife and my son, as well as the brother's kids, back to our Airbnb where we were staying. And when I got there, there was even some of the waitresses or bottle girls that were leaving. Which you can understand that if they were called into work that night, and there was a level of attention that was being shown to them, then that would give them reason to stay.
Incentivize them to stay, yeah.
I'm gonna stick around and to stay, but like Chief just said, some sisters went and put their clothes on. Some sisters was just like, all right, this is just not that type of crowd. I'm out of here. When I got there, they were even leaving. So, like I said, it's nothing to justify, but to really just give you a perspective. It's really to give you a perspective as to say, what a little clip would not include, and people basing their entire understanding off of a few seconds of a clip.
Yeah,
would be misleading.
And that's a good point. And again, this is not an attack because people we all are trying to justify. Nobody's trying to justify anything. We're trying to give you guys the fullness of what occurred, so you can judge and weigh it properly according to Scripture. One. Number two, the individual who this footage was taken from, who recorded the footage, is not even a member of SICARII, right? I want to make sure that's on the record. He's not a member of SICARII, right? But he was at the Passover. There were non-SICARII members at the Passover, right? Now there is a part of the clip where he's zooming in on a girl's rear end. Do I believe that's inappropriate? Yes. Do I denounce that behavior? Yes. But understand that there was not a SICARII member that did that. So that should not be put upon SICARII. But on behalf of the brother, I will speak. This is a brother who confided in me. Now, this is a brother that's from Dimona, who grew up in Dimona, in Israel, for half of his life, and then moved back to the States half of his life. From Dimona, grew up in that whole Ben Ami ideology, and went into the world, still under the thinking he's in the Ben Ami the Ben Ami thing. Went into the world, began to deal with drugs, selling them, use them, etc., and confided in me just the weekend before last that he's literally getting high, snorting coke one night, and our videos came up on his YouTube, and from thence, from listening to letting the Spirit work through us and witness to him, he learned the truth and learned how off what they were teaching him in Israel was, and repented and came out of all of that, and just feels so endeared and so to us that he was so happy to be around us, right? So this is that mirthful spirit he's in, and why he's documenting these things. Again, I don't co-sign him zooming in on a girl. We know that's a spirit of lust, and that certainly shouldn't have happened. But just in the brother's defense, he then came from a lot. And he was very, very happy to be amongst brothers that he feels the Most High used to assist in pulling him out of the pit that he was in, right? So before we go around judging everybody, let's just take a look at the full and total perspective of everything, because the Most High commands us to weigh everything in the balance and judgment. And a lot of y'all violated, as y'all pointed fingers at us, right? Not saying you can't point fingers at us, but as y'all pointed fingers at us, right? And y'all force applied pieces of Paul's epistles to us, you violated the word of Yahweh, the Torah, right? Again, that doesn't justify anything we did. But when you judge things unrighteously without all the evidence, you are falling in an unrighteous judgment, false witnessing, false reporting, etc.
All right, family. All right, family. So we are back. Let's get ourselves together here. All right, so we had a SICARII Camp Brothers address to the nation. So we had the brothers come on in their humility and apologize. So first and foremost, let me say, recognizing that there's a discrepancy in behavior is a major thing for a man. So let's do that. Recognizing a discrepancy in behavior, speech, etc., is a aspect of being a man. And that recognition, acknowledging that discrepancy, and then working toward reforming that discrepant behavior. And that's the first part, acknowledgement and reform. Reform that behavior to not offend. Second part, in the offense caused with that behavior, you must apologize. Extend in humility that recognition you understand that offense you caused, and to seek or petition the regard of the offended party. So to come out publicly and do so to the offended party, and in witness of how many of us were witness to the video and the actual address, is another aspect. So I'll give the brothers their due. And again, the link, the video is more extended. So definitely go over there and see the brothers' video, get some more scriptural lessons or outlines or precepts. And now on that end, I did watch the end of the video, and I wanted to, one, not make the video so extended, but I wanted to stop at that particular point and then address a point of the video that you will see if you check it out. Now, going further in defense of, no, in defense of actions, in our worldly regard as we operate in society, and we do thus and so, sometimes consciously, sometimes unconsciously. If we are confronted and we are not in a particular spiritual mind frame, we will become defensive. Whether we are right, whether we are wrong, we will defend ourselves as just a general reflex, understandable. And so, in the extent of the video, after acknowledging fault of the camp or the members, then the brothers went into a presentation on being a false witness, unrighteous judgment, judging unrighteously, and good presentation for what it was. It was a scriptural or outline of additional precepts on that specific topic of judgment, all things being proved, having the appropriate witnesses to cast judgment, the actual consequences of judgment. However, personally, me, as just one voice, the tone of the presentation, it could be a little Wi-Fi situation. You know how it is on a Friday, high internet activity, but we shall continue. And so we were at the point of learning about judgment, righteous judgment, false witness, etc. For me, in regards of the tone of that presentation, if I am apologizing, if I'm being humble, if I have acknowledged humiliation for myself, then I'll leave it be at that particular tenet or context. I'm not going to come back. And this is after a particular level of gathering wisdom. I'm not going to now point at the person or point at anyone because I have been confronted and then try to highlight them confronting me. So the thing I learned from the SICARII presentation was, or expanded me in my journey. So yes, I will stumble. I will be incorrect. I will fall. I will offend. And then with the understanding or clarity of my actions, I'll get back up and I will persevere to be and do better. And I'll leave it, or also render apologies to any offended parties. And I'll leave it be at that in my personal learning to continue my personal journey in seeking soul salvation. So I have appreciation for what the SICARII did. And I can understand the need of making sure that that is done. I can understand the need that that gets done. So this video or the presentation by SICARII stemming from the Passover incident, it's a opportunity for growth for all parts. All parts. We endure to learn, to discern, to grow, to be educated. And then when we get to these thresholds of knowledge, to hopefully be able to educate or teach. And so in that journey, we will stumble as any journey. We will learn as we clear any path and endure the swipes of those wild limbs and bushes and the thorns and the thistles. And we hope to make the journey a little better for our offspring, our progeny, those who watch and grow with us, but those that are pioneering in our knowledge as the chosen, as the 12 tribes of the house of Jacob. It is a continuing learning effort that we grow in. And so whatever tone All right, family. I hope YouTube not killing me over here. I'm back with you. I hope YouTube is not killing the stream. I know it's Friday night, so for this lesson, for this stream one, thank you for coming by to visit me. Please like, subscribe, and share. Definitely come back, visit the channel. There is over 300 videos available of history, current event reviews, commentary. Absolutely come back. I love you, family, and I thank you. This is a personal lesson of humility, behavior, discernment, understanding, being in leadership in all the eyes of the nation, of the haters, of the heathen, and those who do not believe or understand, being those of the chosen. So family, please come back and visit us. If you be so inclined, review the banners below for any support or love. I love you. I love you. I love you. So as we continue to walk, yea, we may stumble, yea, we may fall, but we do not stop. We continue to get up and journey and endure until we overcome. So family, I hope to see you again. This is Revelations.Unveiled. Detroit. I love you. Revelations.Unveiled. Detroit.